Why is it so hard to find someone authentic in this generation? It's been always so hard because every time I meet someone, it feels like I gotta figure out their mask and who they are. And even people are saying they are authentic or overcompensating. It's still a mask. To be you is just to be you and allow yourself to feel whatever you want to feel. Hey guys, it's Chris Killeen back at it again with another video. With today's video, I'm going to be talking about authenticity. Every time we court someone, we put on our best face, we put on our best foot forward. But usually what happens is at the courting stage, you're not actually introducing yourself. You're just putting your best foot forward. And at the same time, you're putting unnecessary burdens on yourself. Because if you're recording your extra, you're trying to be the perfect man that you think who is. That's why I think a lot of relationships end. Because as soon as the chase ends, as soon as the honeymoon phase ends, everything kind of goes to shit. And they're thinking like, oh, you're not the person who you used to be. What if the person that you were with was actually just a mask? Was some It was just something to overcompensate because it's either they don't think that they're good enough. They don't think that, hey, if I don't do this, nobody will actually take me seriously. No, that's why there's sayings that most of the best friends that actually get together when they grow old actually last longer because they don't put up masks. Because when you're with your best friend, you're taking down all the walls, all the boundaries off, and you just be you. And falling in love while being vulnerable like that is such a special thing. To be vulnerable is so powerful. To be authentic, vulnerable, to be open to everything. Such a beautiful thing to do. And even and I don't like the term idolize, especially in this and the other generations where we idolize people that only put on a facade, that only put up a mask. That's why they say don't meet your heroes, don't meet your idols, because you're gonna regret it. Because people are just people. There's no such thing as perfect. Yes, we can admire what they did, what what they do. We can admire their achievements, but we shouldn't idolize the whole person because there's no such thing as a perfect person. There always will be flaws. Perfection isn't really a thing. Perfection is something that we made up in our minds. Because even in the perfect world, there will always still be problems. Because in this world, that's just how it works. You can look at the laws of the universe, law of correspondence, law of polarity. There will always be ups and downs. There are always an opposite to something. To feel happy, you should know what it means to be sad. And to die, you need to learn how to live. Because you can't die if you don't live. And there's no heaven without hell. There's no winners without losers. There's no lucky people without unlucky people. That's just how it works. There's always an opposite. So there's no such thing as perfect. Because you have your good sides, you have your bad sides. That's how it works. And you should accept that. You shouldn't overcompensate on anything. Because when we are vulnerable and authentic, that's when we're open to great things. When we're actually being ourselves and not overcompensating. You're just going with the flow of life because that's how life is meant to be lived. Because life is just like a river. You shouldn't go against the current. You should go with the current. You should flow with it. You shouldn't alter anything. And just be authentic and be positive in your own way. You shouldn't overthink about everything that you do. And that's from someone who overthinks a lot in everything what they did back then. And I'm telling you, overthinking and always planning everything, trying to take control of everything doesn't help anything because you can't control everything. You can only control yourself. And if you control yourself so much that you're not allowing yourself to be actually free, then what's the point of life? We have this society to be free, but we're all cooped up in our minds because of these insecurities, all this I'm not worth it, I'm not deserving. We coop ourselves with that type of ideas and we tend to try to make masks, try to make a facade so that we are not, you know, we don't seem like who we are. We should accept who we are. We should accept all our little quirks, all our likes, our dislikes. We should be open. We should be authentic. If you find something funny, laugh. If you love something, share it to other people. If they don't like it, hey, that's what you love. You should share it. What's the worst thing that could happen? You shouldn't always go with what's popular, what's trending. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's right. And if there's a lot of people that like it, doesn't mean that you're supposed to like it. If people feel one way about one thing, you should just follow that. You should follow yourself and what you want, what you need, what you actually want to do. Stop putting up a facade built by other people and your insecurities. Be authentic because relationships that aren't built on authenticity usually last the longest and actually last until death. Dating, putting on a facade, that dating phase, the courting phase. When you put on a facade, trying to put your best foot forward, but it's actually you just jumping from one platform because that's not actually you. You should do things authentically. You should be vulnerable to everything because vulnerability isn't weakness, authenticity isn't weakness. It's only weakness when people see you are affected by it. They use it against you, but as soon as you accept your vulnerability, you don't really have any weaknesses. Being authentic means just taking a look into yourself and only yourself, because you're the one living your life. You get to decide how you live, you get to decide what you like. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't idolize people. You can admire them. You should idolize the good things that happen, the good things that people do as a collective. You should idolize God because He's the only one you can idolize. You shouldn't idolize anybody, anything. You shouldn't worship a trend. You shouldn't worship a group. You should look into yourself. What you like, what you want. Just be you. Just be you. Because you are worth it. You are deserving. You're everything you want to be. So don't feel discouraged to not be yourself. Just be yourself. And eventually you'll find a way to make it work. Don't be someone who you're not. I've been someone trying to put on a facade, but myself and all the other things that happen caught up in the present moment. And it makes you have an identity crisis. It makes you rethink your whole life. It makes you think, have you actually ever lived? Have you actually, you know, felt like you were happy actually? Because if you stop listening to yourself, your authentic self, you lose a part of yourself every day. You feel like a big hole in your heart every day. You feel like a big hole. Because when we look into ourselves, we look into God. Because God is in all of us. God is in life. God is life. Yahweh is the sound when you breathe. Life. And life dictates that we have to flow. And we have to look at our lives inside of ourselves because this is what God gave us. So be true to that. Be authentic in everything that you do. Do it in a positive space. This is Chris. That's my video.